By doing these things that I'll show you, you will be able to educate your clients, you will be able to involve them more, and you will be able to turn prospects into clients, and also turn clients into loyal, raving fans. So what do you do when a negative review appears? The first thing is something I would tell you not to do, and that is I wish you would avoid the reputation repair services. Now, I've learned from hard experience that although there were a couple good ones a few years ago, now they spam, they scam, they lie, and they can get you delisted with Google. Don't use them.
Our next presenter is another wild redhead. You had one earlier. Here comes the second one. Her name is Pamela Yellen. And Pamela's awesome. I've known her for 16 years, maybe longer, probably longer. She's a financial security expert. She's investigated over 450 different strategies for wealth and retirement before developing her own method. And she is the New York Times bestselling author of Bank on Yourself, The Life-Changing Secret to Growing and Securing Your Financial Future. All of you have a copy of her book that was in your gift bag. And she's going to talk about how to profit from negative publicity. My good friend, Pamela Yellen, the one and only.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
I think it's been more like 20 years, and I can tell you, Joe just gets more awesome every single year. How many of you have experienced some sort of negative review or publicity or, okay, all right. How many of you have had that happen and then have it be pretty public, either in the media or maybe it comes up on page 1 or page 2 when people Google you or your company? All right. Well, I'm here to tell you that you do not need to be afraid of negative publicity. It will happen to, I hate to say this, but probably everyone in this room will happen to at some point or another. And at some point, you will experience negative reviews or publicity, an inaccurate review or publicity, or jealous competitors trying to ruin your reputation. Now, in my particular situation, what I am teaching people how to do goes 110% against the conventional wisdom. And I teach people how to bypass Wall Street to grow wealth safely. I'm showing them how to fire their banker and become their own source of financing. I've made a lot of people very unhappy with me. I may as well just have a huge target on my back. So, again, I'm saying don't be afraid of negative publicity, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we've done to actually turn that to our advantage. And the different ways in which we use it, I'll give you 4 examples. And as you're listening to this, I hope that even if you haven't experienced negative publicity, that you look at how you can use these ideas to generate more buzz amongst your own clients, amongst your herd and your tribe and so on, because you're going to see some very creative things you can do to get people more involved. By doing these things that I'll show you, you will be able to educate your clients, you will be able to involve them more, and you will be able to turn prospects into clients, and also turn clients into loyal, raving fans. So what do you do when a negative review appears? The first thing is something I would tell you not to do, and that is I wish you would avoid the reputation repair services. Now, I've learned from hard experience that although there were a couple good ones a few years ago, now they spam, they scam, they lie, and they can get you delisted with Google. Don't use them. Request a rebuttal or a retraction, and I'll tell you right now, want to find out how corrupt the media is? It doesn't matter what kind of proof you have. They will typically refuse. So tell them you'll take it to the court of public opinion. Always get legal advice. I get legal advice about making sure that I'm not being libelous or slanderous, and also if I'm going to be doing some sort of contest to ethically bribe people to participate, then I want to make sure that I'm not violating any contest laws. And give the facts and educate. So an example number 1, it was a negative book review from AAII. That stands for the American Association of Individual Investors. You might have heard of them. They have several 100,000 members. They consider themselves a nonprofit. They call themselves fair and unbiased. But they're all in the investment industry, and I'm telling people you don't need to invest in the stock market to get wealthy. So they did a book review, and they said, bank on yourself is too good to be true. I sent a rebuttal to the editor, and I said, I'd like you to publish my rebuttal. They refused, and I said, I'm taking it to the court of the public opinion. And I did a blog post. Is bank on yourself too good to be true? The strategy was I held a client, subscriber, reader contest. We have about 150,000 people on our list who got this email. And I asked them, after telling them the facts, did the AAI review of my book twist things, or was it fair and unbiased? And this is an exact quote from the blog. I said, we will pick 3 of the most insightful and or humorous comments and award the posters either a dining gift certificate worth $25 or a personally autographed copy of my Too Good to Be True book. The result was 82 contest entries on our blog. The readers were jumping all over themselves to post supportive, educational comments and testimonials and entries. I didn't ask for any testimonials. You would not believe them. The amount of wisdom that your clients have that you haven't elicited from them is humbling. You can learn so much from them.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video, and I want to let you know that I have a new book that's come out, and if you'd like to get it absolutely free, there's a link below in the description, or you can wait till the end of this video, or you can simply go to joesfreebook.com and you can get a copy there.
They were selling themselves on the Bank on Yourself strategy. We summarized the best points made in a new blog post, and we listed the contest winners and we highlighted them. People loved it. They love their 15 minutes of fame. They want to be acknowledged. And then we published all the results and all the comments in a second blog post, AAI versus Bank on Yourself, total knockout in round 1. The result was skeptics became clients. Clients resold themselves and became loyal, fanatical fans. And it builds iron cage retention. This is a really key point that I learned, and that is that when you show your tribe how not just to stand for something, but to also stand against something, it takes the whole thing to the next level. An added benefit, when people, from our Google Analytics, we know that when they Google AAI review, they want to get a review of AAII, we come up and we get conversions from it. I love it. The blog post itself has a very high page value and conversions as well. In fact, it was so powerful, and this was published offline. It never was going to even get picked up online. It was never going to Google. Now, what we do is we highlight it on the sidebar of our homepage and other pages of our website. We want people to read this. We want people to know about it. Situation number 2, scam.com. How many of you have had a conversation about yourself, your company, or your product on scam.com? Only a couple people? I thought you didn't arrive until you're being discussed on scam.com. Well, for those of you who don't know scam.com, it's a bunch of people who have no life but have a lot of opinions about everything. And Google loves scam.com. If you have a conversation going about you there, it's going to be on page 1 almost all the time. People just see it, scam.com, oh my gosh, it must be a scam. So the strategy contest, but entering required listening to our 15-minute podcast, because there's this one person that kind of emerged as the chief detractor of me and Bank on Yourself, and he was arguing about how you should just invest in the market. That's how you're going to get wealthy. And someone who is a Bank on Yourself user started challenging. He said, have you ever actually gotten out your statements and looked at how much you've made in the market? He said, because I just did, and I found out I'd made 0% over 10 years. Well, Mr. Chief Detractor decided he'd go look at all of his statements. He went back, he must be like me, a pack rat. He went back for 30 years. And he took out how much he contributed, and he figured out, what did I actually make? It was 4.5% per year. Over 30 years, inflation was almost 4% during that period of time. So now he's down to what, 0.5%? And there were deferred tax accounts. He's got to pay taxes on those. And he said, you know what? She may be right. I am just an average investor. And so I outed that whole thing. But I made him listen to the podcast for 15 minutes to qualify to get into the contest so that they would be educated about it. And it worked phenomenally well as well. We had several hundred correct entries, and we picked some winners randomly from it. Skeptics got educated, became clients. Client's decision was reinforced, and an SEO advantage on Bank on Yourself scam. Financial gurus dismissed the concept. Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey, 99% of all financial gurus say, don't do this. And so, after attending, want to be a fly on the wall as Susie Orman and Dave Ramsey discuss Bank on Yourself. I have quotes from their books. I parody them. I show how I talk about Dave Ramsey's 12% mutual fund and their endorsements and so on. And as a result, we have 38,000 views and counting on this, and the conversions have been fantastic. People will watch this cartoon before they'll watch a regular video. So these are great strategies. I hope you got some great ideas that you can use to have fun, get customer involvement, and just have more fun. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you found that video awesome and useful. So if you want to get a free copy of my book, I want you to click here. And if you want to watch some more videos that'll be useful and awesome, click here. Go ahead. They're over here. Do it now. Come on. Thank you. Watch them.